All right, so you've got this worksheet. We've got this section done. We've got these two boxes done. Now we're moving to the Second Punic War. All right, here we go. All right, the Second Punic War. We have a phrase here called Hannibal ad portas, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me double check. Okay, so I double checked it, and if I really want to pronounce it like I just heard it pronounced, it would be Hannibal ad porta. So there you go, Hannibal ad porta. You can practice it. I'd like to hear you saying it like out loud right now, so that way when you're listening to this with your headsets on and everybody in the classroom is just saying Hannibal ad porta, I can sit there and laugh at you because you're saying it over and over and you don't even realize it. So anyways, yeah, go for it. Okay, so Hannibal ad porta means Hannibal is at the gate. And whenever that phrase is used, it is a Latin phrase, and when it was used to strike fear in the enemy because Hannibal was pretty vicious. So whenever someone would say Hannibal ad porta, it was used to strike fear in you, and it means Hannibal is at the gates. And I do believe that, let me see, yes, you need to fill that in right there on your worksheet. All right, so we're at the Second Punic War, and we're learning our first Latin phrase. Maybe it's not your first Latin phrase, but you might not have known this one. So Hannibal is at the gates. The Carthaginian general Hannibal surprises Rome, and he leads armies from Spain through southern France and across these really big mountains called the Alps. Okay, he invades Italy from the north. Now, we talked about this in class the other day about how if you were going to come into the Italian peninsula, and you were going to do it on land, the only way to do so was to come through from the north because it's a peninsula. It's surrounded by a body of water on three sides. So the only way to get in on land would be to come in from the north. So he invaded Italy from the north with an elephant army. Yes, he is the general that I've told you about different times throughout the year when I've talked about one of the generals having war elephants. It was Hannibal. Now, Hannibal led these elephants across the Alps. Let's just say it didn't work out so well for the elephants, because if you know anything about elephants, first of all, trying to get them across a mountainside or a range of mountains like the Alps, that right there in itself is not going to happen. Furthermore, think about where elephants naturally reside. It is not on top of a cold, freezing cold mountain, packed with snow, just not going to work out. Okay, I don't think I need to explain to you why. All right, he defeats the Roman armies that were sent to stop him. He did this several times, but he hesitated to attack Rome itself. So armies were sent to stop him, and he did stop them, but he was hesitating when he started to move into Rome to attack Rome itself. All right, so instead, he settles on war of attrition. Now, attrition is, I don't know if you can see it over here, but let me see if I can make a little box here real quick and move it over in case you can't. Let's just move it right here, and then I'll pull it in. Or maybe I won't. Okay, let me move this to the back. Reorder. Send backwards. How about I try bringing this one forward? How about I just pause for a minute? Aha, now I got it. Okay, so instead he settles on war of attrition. Attrition is when you gradually reduce the power of something or of someone. So he thought that if he could gradually reduce their power, then he would win gradually over time. So he settles on war of attrition in hope of destroying the Roman economic base. Now, when we've talked about economy, you always are talking about what? I hope you said it, and I hope you said it out loud so that I can look up at you and go, yeah, I know where you are in this video. You should have said thinking about money or finances. So he was hoping he could destroy their economic base. All right, let's move right along. All right, so we filled out the Second Punic War. We're moving right there to the box beside it that said the Second Punic War was won by. All right, here we go. Take a wild guess. The Second Punic War was won by Rome. Unable to defeat Hannibal in Italy, a Roman army sailed across the Mediterranean and they landed in North Africa. And they headed for Carthage. Okay, now let's put this together. This is a military tactic. This is a move that they've made in order to defeat Hannibal. So why is this an important military move? It's because Hannibal was from Carthage in North Africa. So since they can't beat him in Italy, then they send their soldiers to land in North Africa and head for Carthage. What do you think they're going to do there? You should know. All right, because they're using some really keen military tactics, some trickery to beat him. All right, so they were led by a patrician. Now, we haven't talked about the patricians and plebeians yet, but we will. So just go ahead and write this word down, and then you'll learn about it later. They were led by a patrician general named Scipio, and I'm not sure about his middle name, but his last name is Africanus. All right, so since the patrician general led them there, so Hannibal then, since he's from Carthage, he's forced to leave Italy because what does he want to do? He wants to protect his homeland. He wants to protect Carthage. So he has to leave Italy to go back to Carthage to fight. He needs to protect his homeland. So when he gets there, he's defeated at the battle Zama. He's defeated at the battle of Zama, which was fought outside the walls of Carthage. Okay, so just outside the walls of the city-state of Carthage in North Africa, that is where Hannibal, right here, is defeated. All right, when you get that done, then we're going to move on to the next little section, and it is the Third Punic War. Before you go, I'll let you have this little image of what war elephants would look like. You don't have one or two riders on the back of a war elephant. You have this big, huge box of a thing for a saddle, whereas saddles on horses have one rider. Yeah, you could fit several men on top of the war elephants, and they would travel into battle. On your Second Punic War that was won by Rome, Hannibal makes a statement, and he made this statement when he was a child. So this tells you a little bit about him. He said, "I swear that so soon as age will permit," in other words, when he gets old enough, "I will use fire and steel to arrest the destiny of Rome." So even as a child, Hannibal had dreams, had visions, had, I don't know, this urge, this goal that he was going to destroy and take over Rome. So just find that kind of interesting that he was a child and said that. All right, we're going to move on to the third Punic War video, so I'll see you in a minute.